Let me ask you something. Imagine you have $10,000 sitting in your bank account right now. You worked hard for it, you saved it carefully, and now you're thinking, okay, I don't want to lose this. I'm going to keep it somewhere safe. So you do exactly what feels responsible. You leave it in your savings account. Maybe you put some in a fixed deposit. You sleep well at night because you think, my money is protected. Nothing can touch it. Now, fast forward 5 years. You open your account, the money is still there, every single dollar. In fact, there's a little more because of the interest. You didn't lose anything. You feel good about yourself. But here's the thing nobody told you. You actually lost a significant chunk of that money. Not from the account, not from bad investments, not from anything you could even see on a screen. It disappeared quietly, slowly, invisibly, while you were sleeping soundly, thinking you were being smart. And the worst part? The very thing you did to protect your money is exactly what caused you to lose it. This is the story of why most so-called safe investments are actually one of the biggest financial traps people fall into. And once you understand this, the way you think about money and risk will never be the same again. Here's a belief that almost everyone holds. Safe means no risk. If my money isn't going down, if I'm not losing any numbers on a screen, if the balance looks the same or slightly higher, then I'm being responsible, I'm being smart, I'm doing the right thing. This belief feels completely logical, and honestly, it makes sense on the surface. We've been wired to think about risk in a very specific way. Risk means losing. Safety means keeping. It's a simple equation that gets built into us from a very young age. Your parents probably told you, don't gamble with your money. Don't put it in risky stuff. Keep it somewhere safe. And they weren't wrong to say that. They were trying to protect you. But the financial world they grew up in was different. And the advice that worked for one generation doesn't always translate cleanly to the next. Because here's what nobody teaches you in school, and what most people never figure out until it's too late. There are two types of risk. The risk you can see and the risk you can't. The risk you can see is obvious. Your investment drops in value. The number goes down. You feel it. It's painful. It's visible. Your brain screams danger. The risk you can't see is invisible. Your money sits still. The number doesn't move much. Everything looks fine, but something is eating away at your wealth, silently, every single month, every single year. And most people never even notice it happening. That invisible risk has a name. It's called inflation. And combined with something called opportunity cost, it is the reason why playing it too safe is actually one of the biggest financial traps people fall into. Let's break this down slowly, because this is where it gets really interesting. Think about money like an ice cream cone on a hot summer day. Right now, in your hand, the ice cream looks perfect. It's full, it's solid, it's exactly what you paid for. But if you just hold it and don't do anything with it, it starts to melt, slowly, quietly, without making any sound. And 5 minutes later, you look down and realize you've lost a lot more than you thought. That is inflation. Inflation is the gradual rise in the price of everything around you. Food, rent, education, healthcare, everyday goods. Every year, things cost a little more than they did the year before. And when prices go up, the purchasing power of your money goes down. Let's use a real number to make this concrete. Let's say inflation in your country averages around 6% per year. That means something that costs $100 today will cost about $106 next year, and $112 the year after that. It keeps compounding. Now let's go back to your $10,000 in the savings account. If your bank is giving you, say, 3 to 4% interest per year, which is already generous in many places, and inflation is running at 6%, then in real terms, you are actually losing around 2% of your purchasing power every single year. That doesn't sound like much. 2%, almost nothing, right? But here's where the math gets uncomfortable. Over 5 years, that 2% annual loss compounds. Your $10,000 in the account might show $11,000 or $12,000 on paper, but in terms of what you can actually buy with that money, you might effectively have the equivalent of only $8,000 or $9,000 in today's purchasing power. You didn't see it leave, but it left. And this is the core of the trap, because our brains are wired to focus on what we can see. The number in the account, the balance on the screen. When that number isn't going down, our brain says, great, we're safe. But our brain is not accounting for the invisible erosion happening on the other side. Psychologists call this concept nominal versus real value. Nominal is the number you see. Real is what it actually buys you. Most people manage their money based on the nominal number, the number that looks safe. But wealth is built or destroyed in real terms. Now let's talk about the second silent killer, opportunity cost. This one is even less talked about and in some ways even more powerful than inflation. Opportunity cost is simply this. Every time you choose one thing, you are giving up the potential benefit of something else. When you keep your money in a low-yield savings account, you're not just earning 3%, you are also choosing not to earn whatever another investment might have returned. And that gap between what you earned and what you could have earned is a cost that never shows up anywhere. No bank statement, no tax form, no notification. It just silently doesn't exist. Here's a simple example. Two people, same age, both have $10,000 at age 25. Person A keeps theirs in a savings account earning 3% per year. Person B invests theirs in a diversified index fund that averages around 9 to 10% per year historically. Fast forward 30 years, Person A has roughly $24,000. Person B has somewhere around $130,000 to $170,000. Same starting amount, same time, completely different outcomes. Person A didn't do anything reckless. They didn't gamble, they didn't make bad decisions, they just chose safe. And that choice over 30 years cost them over $100,000 in wealth that could have existed. That is opportunity cost. And it compounds just like interest does, except in reverse, working against you instead of for you. Now let's go a little deeper, because this is where the psychology gets fascinating. Why do smart people keep making this mistake? Why do intelligent, hard-working, genuinely careful people park their money in low-return, safe options even when they know better? The answer lies in something called loss aversion. It's one of the most well-documented findings in behavioral economics. Research shows that psychologically, the pain of losing something feels roughly twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Losing $100 hurts you about twice as much as gaining $100 makes you feel good. Think about what that means for investing. When you put money into something that can fluctuate, stocks, index funds, real estate, you expose yourself to the possibility of seeing the number go down, even temporarily, even briefly, and your brain treats that like a threat. It triggers a stress response. It makes you want to pull out, to run back to safety. But safety, in the form of a stable, low-interest account, carries its own kind of loss, a slower, quieter, less visible loss. And because it doesn't trigger that same emotional alarm, your brain doesn't register it as danger. So we end up in this strange situation where the visible, emotionally uncomfortable risk of a fluctuating investment gets avoided, even when it leads to better outcomes, while the invisible, emotionally comfortable risk of slow money erosion gets embraced, even though it's quietly devastating. We optimize for how investments make us feel, not for how they actually perform. There's another layer here too. It's called the illusion of control. When your money is in a savings account or a fixed deposit, you feel in control. You can see it, you can access it, it feels predictable. And humans crave predictability, especially with money. When your money is in an investment that moves up and down, it feels chaotic, out of your hands. And that loss of perceived control is deeply uncomfortable, even if statistically, over time, the investment is far more likely to grow your wealth. So people choose the comfortable feeling of safety over the uncomfortable reality of better outcomes. And the financial industry knows this. That's why they market savings products and fixed deposits as safe and secure, because those are the words that make people feel calm, not because they are actually the best way to protect and grow your purchasing power over time. There's one more concept worth understanding here. It's the difference between absolute risk and relative risk. Absolute risk is, could I lose money I put in? Relative risk is, compared to my goals and timeline, am I actually moving forward? Most people only think about absolute risk. They ask, could this investment go down in value? And if the answer is yes, they call it risky. But nobody ever asks, compared to where I need to be financially in 20 years, is this savings account actually getting me there? Is it keeping up with inflation? Is it building real wealth? Is it going to fund my retirement, my kids' education, the life I want? When you ask those questions, the picture changes completely, because the truly dangerous investment isn't always the one that fluctuates. Sometimes the truly dangerous investment is the one that looks perfectly still while the whole world around it quietly moves on without it. So what do you actually do with this? First, understand that your goal isn't to avoid the feeling of risk. Your goal is to avoid the reality of wealth destruction. Those are two different things, and confusing them is what keeps most people financially stuck. Second, learn to think in real terms, not nominal terms. When you see an interest rate on a savings account, always ask yourself, what is inflation right now? What is the real return after inflation? If inflation is higher than your interest rate, you are losing purchasing power. Full stop. Third, match your money to your timeline. Not all money should be treated the same way. Money you need in the next 3 to 6 months, your emergency fund, your upcoming expenses, yes, that should be somewhere stable and accessible. That is genuinely short-term money, and it serves a specific purpose. But money you won't need for 5, 10, 15 years, that money is being punished in a low-yield account. That money has the time to ride out market fluctuations and come out the other side significantly larger. Treating long-term money like short-term money is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. Fourth, get comfortable with fluctuation on paper. This is a mindset shift more than anything else. When your investment goes down temporarily, it doesn't mean you've lost money. Unless you sell. Wealth destruction happens when you panic and sell low. The investor who stays calm through short-term drops and stays focused on the long-term picture is the one who ends up wealthy. The investor who runs to cash every time the market wobbles is the one who keeps resetting to zero. And finally, think about risk as a spectrum, not a switch. It's not safe versus risky. It's what combination of assets, matched to my goals and timeline, gives me the best chance of building real, lasting wealth while still letting me sleep at night. That answer will look different for everyone, but it almost certainly includes more than just a savings account. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. The safest feeling thing and the safest actual thing are often completely different. We live in a world where our brains were designed to fear the visible and ignore the invisible, to run from what causes discomfort and gravitate toward what feels calm. And for most of human history, that instinct kept us alive. But in the financial world, that same instinct can quietly cost you decades of wealth. Real financial safety isn't just about whether your balance goes down. It's about whether your money is actually growing faster than the world is moving. It's about whether the choices you're making today are building something real, or just creating the comfortable illusion of progress while inflation slowly melts it like that ice cream cone on a hot afternoon. The investors who truly protect their wealth aren't the ones who avoid all risk. They're the ones who understand which risks are worth taking, which risks are invisible, and which risks are hiding behind the word safe. Now you know the difference, and that changes everything.